oh no, I'm not going to make sure that my hormones are balanced. I'm not going to make sure that I'm healthy internally because I don't want to lose my hair. So my camera angles suck, and I'm fully aware of that. I'm very new to the game. I have no training whatsoever in film and video and studio and all of that. So bear with me because I know like my stuff just be looking real dumb like half the time. But I just want to do a quick little, this is not a get ready with me, but I just want to talk a little bit about what's going on with me. So I washed my hair and I'm dealing with a lot. I'm seeing a lot of shedding, right? And you know, I like to be in denial. I like to say, no, that's not shedding. You know, like, oh, you know, your hair sheds 100 strands a day. And so if you multiply that by the 7 days that it took for me to wash it while it's in its curly state and not, you know, detangling and keeping it up in a bun and just having really stupid shady practices that I preach up against. But you know, I'm human, so I fall victim to laziness. My hair, you know, it's hard because sometimes you think you have healthy hair, right? And I want to say this, there's a difference between healthy hair and healthy scalp. Your hair can look bomb. Your hair on your head could be absolutely gorgeous, just dope, like everything, okay? Just everything you want. The hair on your head. I'm using this because it's what I have right now. It's not necessarily clean beauty. It's not necessarily any of that. It's just Mrs. Justy's Multicultural Clear. And I don't put it on my scalp, obviously. I put product about an inch from my scalp. Now, back in the day with brand new clean beauty, before it became like a huge trend, especially in the ethnic or multicultural markets, as they would call them, or black, you know, for those of us who, you know, just call a thing, you know, it really looks like my edges. You know, I want to show y'all something. Let me show y'all something. This right here is a little concerning, very concerning. I'm really trying to play it off like, oh, I don't see it, but no, I do. This is concerning. This is very concerning, very. So the assumption is, you know, if you have healthy hair on your head, then the assumption is that you have great scalp health, right? Because it's like, oh my God, look at your curls, they're juicy, your hair is thriving, so you must have really healthy hair. And I want to make this very clear. While your hair could be thriving, the actual hair that's on your head right now, it looks good, it's moisturized, the texture is just on 100,000, it looks amazing. That has zero to do with real scalp health, right? Scalp health is really what matters, because you could have healthy scalp and not know how to do a good twist out, or not know how to do a good wash and go. I'm definitely guilty of that. You know, your curls could look like crap for all I care. Your curls could look frizzy, not frizzy, because frizzy could be a sign of something too, but like, when I mean frizzy, more like, you know, it's not defined. The curls aren't, it's not really defined, and you didn't do the proper things to make the curls like not nice and bouncy and plump together. But your scalp is on fire, okay? Your scalp could be on fire. Not only can your scalp be on fire, but you can have inflammation going on in your body, in your scalp. There could be follicle atrophy going on, where follicle atrophy is when your follicles are slowly diminishing. They're slowly getting smaller and smaller. And so the hairs that's growing out of your hair, of your scalp and your head, is getting thinner and thinner, slowly getting thinner. And progression over time, you don't see it, but it's getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And so because you've done all the masks and all the DIYs, and you bought all the great products that really have your curls and your kinks and, you know, whatever your hair type is, whatever if you're low porosity, you've got that figured out, boo. You've got that figured out. You know exactly what to do to twist out your hair, to make it look beautiful, to show up to the party, yardy. And you are that chick with the big hair, with the big curls. That's you. And you're feeling real good about yourself. You're feeling yourself, but what you're not realizing is that your scalp underneath that is on fire. It's slowly dying. Not your scalp, I mean, but your follicles are slowly dying, and you know, you're not gonna notice it right away, especially if you already have a head full of beautiful hair. Especially if you're, and beautiful hair is thriving hair. I'm not talking about texture. I'm not talking about 3C. I'm not talking about none of that stuff. I'm just, your hair just looks good. It's moisturized. It's popping. Like, you know how to manage and control it. You know, you've done your homework. You've done your research. You have your holy grail products. No one can tell you what products to buy because nobody knows your hair like you know your hair. You know what DIYs to do. Like, you're that chick, but your scalp is on fire. And so you're gonna be walking around with beautiful hair on your head. For some people, it could be for years. Some people could be for months. And it's only a matter of time when you start noticing that the new hairs that come in are thinner, brittle, easily break. Nothing you can do to have nice, beautiful curls or kinks or twist outs. It's dying, just falls out from the root. It sheds excessively. It thins excessively. I'm not trying to use fear factors or fear tactics. This is exactly what happened to me. I had a head full of beautiful, thick, long hair. And by thick, I mean dense, right? In the sense that I have finer hair, just naturally my strands are finer, but I had a lot of it, so it looks denser. It's a lot fuller, right? And it was down my back, and it just looked good. So I didn't notice when the follicles were atrophying a little bit, right? Because I had a scalp biopsy done, so I can speak on this. I didn't notice it, you know. It wasn't until you start seeing that excessive shedding and you're like, something is not right. And it's really excessive. And then, you know, naturally, for my natural girls out there, you kind of figure, oh, okay, I just need to clip my ends. You know, my ends getting clipped is going to resolve this issue for the most part, right? You think that. And you clip the ends and still a lot of shedding. What the hell is going on? So here's my thing. I brought this up because, you know, anyway, to finish my quick little story, you literally wake up one day. You know how they say, like, when you're gaining weight, you don't see it. You just wake up one morning and you're just big. Like, you literally don't see it until you look at a picture of yourself. You just don't see it. You don't see it happening. Like, it's happening right before your eyes and you have no clue. Yeah, so that's exactly what happened to me with my hair. I thought I was good. I thought, oh, this is not my problem because my hair is, and when I say straight, I don't mean, you know, I'm from New York, so I don't say straight meaning like straight. Like, I mean straight like it's good. Like, we're good, you know? My hair is nice. It's curly. My curls are popping because, you know, I had my Holy Grail products. I knew exactly what was going to make my curls stand out and look dope. And I wasn't thinking about scalp health. Like, who's thinking about that when your hair is already looking real nice? Like, you know, you have that body in your hair. You know, your wash and goes are just divine, honey. You getting compliments left and right. You know, you don't see it. You don't think about it. You can't see what's going on at the top of your scalp, which was my problem, right? Androgenetic alopecia, aka female pattern hair loss, which starts at the crown of your head, right? Not at your edges. So we look at our edges kind of like, oh, okay, my edges are tight, popping, girl. And then you think you're just gonna see a big bald spot. It don't work like that. You start to get patterns of little patches. And then there's other things at the middle of the top of the crown of your head. Guys, listen, my only advice to you is, you know, if you're from New York, you know this saying, if you see something, say something. It's about the MTA, like, meaning like, bruh, if you noticing something ain't right, don't do the Scooby-Doo, don't do the and just ignore it. If you notice something is not right, 9 times out of 10, it's not right. It's not in your brain. It's you know better. And then let nobody tell you, girl, you bugging, that's fine, you look good, you got a lot of hair on your head, you here you go being dramatic again, because you know I'm a drama queen, you know, proud drama queen, okay? I love my drama, I love my theatrics, okay? I miss my calling, y'all. So my point is, please go see a dermatologist, get a scalp evaluation. 90% of your insurances cover it. A free diagnostic, like if you're a car, right? A free evaluation, see what's going on. Let somebody who has an eye for not only scalp health and hair health, but hair and scalp of color, let them at least eyeball and see. And what I mean by eyeball, let them use their trained and skilled eye to look at your scalp and say, okay, I'm seeing a little bit of something, maybe we need to do some further testing. For me, it took so long because my hair was so long and so dense and so beautiful. It took so long for me to seek help. It took forever for me to actually finally go and seek help. And I'll be even more honest, I never really sought the help because I didn't know that you're supposed to go to a dermatologist. I'm like, a dermatologist takes care of skin. But what happened was I actually worked in the dermatology and you know, in medical and pharmaceutical fields. So it was one of my like real good dermatologist, you know, friends that was like, you look, something's starting to look a little, you're starting to look a little thin. Like, you mind if I take a look? It was that moment that changed the game for me. And one thing about hair loss / restoration / growth journey, real growth. I'm not talking about what people say, like, grow your hair in 2 minutes with avocado. No. The real deal with hair loss and your hair restoration journey is, it's a journey, bruh. And you have times where you're thriving, you're climbing up that mountain, and then something comes and knocks you back down again. And it's like, so it's like, while you think you're progressing, and depending on what your results, what you want your results to be, like me, I want to get back to my hair being down where it used to be. And you're thriving, and you're like, yes, and you think everything's good because you see your curls and they look juicy and succulent because you know how to treat your texture, and you know how to make sure that your hair just looks its best as far as style. But you don't know what could be causing. But then, you know, there's a lot going on. You may not realize you're dealing with inflammation again. So me, I'm starting to shed again. And I'm noticing the shedding like I had it before. Not as bad because obviously a lot has changed between my lifestyle, my diet, you know, what I do to manage and maintain my hair. But then it's just like, it's a battle, son. Like, it's a battle because there's times where you could do all the right things and nothing still works. And that's where I'm at right now. I'm not saying it's not working, and I'm not saying that I'm digressing and I'm going backwards. What I'm saying is I'm noticing things that are red flags. So meanwhile, I already go to a dermatologist. I'm still getting cortisone shots, which is good for reducing inflammation or stopping inflammation or reducing inflammation on the scalp. Remember, there's scalp health and there's things that you can do to treat, especially to spot treat or to topically treat right away. But that doesn't explain what could be possibly going on internally. Now, the question is not what's going on with my hair, because I've been going through this for a long time and I kind of understand my body now. The question is, okay, what's going on with my body? What's internally going on? This is an alarm. So what is wrong? Am I dealing with internal inflammation? You know, I know my hormones been out of whack and I've been taking certain things like birth control to kind of, you know, or hormone replacements to kind of balance my hormones. And I have a video, and I'm not even trying to plug it, on how, you know, either stopping or starting birth control can contribute to hair loss. So there's a possibility that, you know, the hormones that I took is the reason why I'm starting to see my my edges starting to recede a little bit. It could be temporary, it may not be permanent, you know, but then you got to be smart, right? Do I say, oh no, I'm not going to, you know, make sure that my hormones are balanced. I'm not going to make sure that I'm healthy internally because I don't want to lose my hair. What do you do? Because then an imbalanced hormones can lead to so many other things, right? It can lead to uterine problems. It can lead to cancerous problems. It can lead to cancerous cells. So then you're like, okay, well, I'm not going to sit here and just sacrifice my overall health and my wellness and me being around for my kids long term just because I want to have long, beautiful hair. Like, it, you know, it gets to a point where you have to choose. Sometimes you have to choose, and it's like, damn, you know, it's like someone saying, I'm not going to do chemo because I don't want to lose my hair, you know. You can't. So I'm a little upset. I'm a little flustered, only because I'm noticing the receding and the shedding. The receding didn't bother me as much because, again, I was like, maybe because of the birth control or the hormones, it's done that. It's the shedding that throws me off. When it sheds like that telogen effluvium that I always talk about in all my videos, that's excessive shedding. That's usually stress induced. Not only, but a lot of times, of course, hormonal as well, which stress, believe it or not, cortisol is a hormone, but it's usually stress induced. And again, stress can be defined in many different ways, right? It doesn't mean that I'm stressed. It doesn't mean that mentally I'm stressed. It doesn't mean that emotionally I'm stressed. I'm actually mentally in a good place, you know. I'm in a good place. So it could just be that my body is stressed, right? It could be that my body is kind of dealing with the fight or flight. And why is that? Why is my body in a stressed state? So I'm in and out of doctors' offices. It's really annoying because it goes from just a dermatologist who's treating you cosmetically to, you know, your gynecologist who's making sure, you know, things are right with your uterus, you know, that there's no endometriosis, that there's no PCOS, you know. Then it goes to your, you know, the endocrinologist, you know, who's also checking everything out in your endocrine systems to make sure that there's nothing wrong per se. And then it's a constant battle. Like, you can be fine and then you got to go get tested again, and you got to keep checking it, and you got to keep managing and maintaining. And then, like, you know, Dr. Sherry Graham said in one of our podcast interviews, time is hair. You know, the more time you take, the more, not the more hair you lose, the more damage and scarring can happen to your scalp and your follicles, and then you can potentially go bald. So please, 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 I implore everyone who is listening, you know, anyone who actually takes the time to watch these videos. It takes a lot for me to make them. Number one, I'm not a film person. So I go through a lot just to try to get the camera to look straight, right? And then I don't even know where to look in the camera, like a whole lot of mess. But, you know, I'm doing it because I'm documenting my journey, I guess. I don't know. I'm documenting my journey. I'm doing it because I just want to make sure that you guys really stop what you're doing. I don't care if you have Medicaid. I don't care what insurance you have. I don't care if you have enough money to afford cosmetic treatments all day. You're getting $600 bundles and then $200-$300 installments or $1,000 installments if you're going to a celebrity stylist, and, you know, eyelashes and nails and all of that combined can come up to quite a lot of money. Like, take some time and invest in your actual health, right? And while you may think that hair restoration is not health, it absolutely is tied to your health more than anything you would even know, because while it is cosmetic, there's cosmetic components to it and there's beauty components to it. You know, when something is not right, it's going to show in your hair, your skin, your nails, internal systems, if they're not functioning properly. So that is my, I don't know if this is a get ready with me. I don't know if this is my hair story, my journey. I don't know what I'm gonna title this, but that's just a little snippet. That's just a little PSA. Schedule an appointment with a dermatologist and or trichologist today. And if you don't know where to look, where to start, and Google is not good enough, because Google is just gonna pretty much give you anyone who pays to be on Google. If you really want to find someone who is who specializes in skin and hair of color, then you can click on the link down below to hairscriptsapp.com, and we will plug you into highly rated and esteemed professionals and vetted experts that are going to absolutely start you on not only your healthy hair and scalp journey, but your lifestyle journey, your new life, your new lifestyle change, you know, because the goal is not long hair, thick hair. The longevity goal is long life and health. So nothing more beautiful than being alive, honey. That is my PSA.